Makes sense.
Welcome to Just an Average Fantasy Football Podcast. Balls.
Thank you. It's been a while. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. We're glad to be back.
There it is. Oh, look, I wasn't going to miss it. It had to be on there. Had to be on there.
Well, welcome into Just an Average Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Hayes, with Matt Baker.
Hey, that's me.
You can find us at avgffpod.com. You can go there. You can listen to us there. You can click the buttons, go to our socials from there, Facebook, YouTube. We are also on Apple, Spotify, and just about everywhere else you can get a podcast. Go give us a listen. Spread us around to your friends and family and loved ones. So
Right in the middle of rookie drafting right now.
yeah,
Man.
I'm in multiple drafts myself.
Man.
We're even in a redraft draft, which is weird. I don't like. There's people are just so antsy to draft, but I'll tell you, I've learned real quick in this rookie draft. It ain't a fun one.
No, it's not at all, especially if you competed last year.
Yeah, or if you stacked draft picks last year.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have done, and now I'm regretting that because you can't get rid of them. Nobody wants them.
Yeah.
And so I'm just
top 7, and then outside of that, it's like you're giving away everything to try to get something out of it.
So yeah, it's not the best draft we've ever had by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll break it down. We're going to go through the NFL draft and talk about where these prospects went, what we think about it. I do apologize for the sporadicness of the schedule. There's a lot going on in both of our lives in the moment, and it's just sometimes a little tougher to get things together. We were supposed to get together before the draft, and we couldn't because a family emergency came up in my side. So, it is what it is, but we're going to do our best moving forward to try to stay on somewhat of a schedule. If we can get on the air, if we can record Tuesday, we'll get Bus back in here and get his perspective on some of this. Him being the resident true college football fan, he'll have his own takes on some of these players and whatnot. So
yes.
But having said all that, let's go ahead and start breaking this draft down. Let's see. Yeah. That's our news and draft button.
That's the button.
Dun, 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 dun. No, I was trying to do the.
Man,
that was terrible. I shouldn't have done
that. Sound
that.
like the Double Mint commercial or some shit.
I was
Double Mint. One of those.
I could hear the draft tone in my head that they play when you're watching the draft, and that wasn't it.
Yeah, that's not what came out of your mouth at all.
That's like I can picture like a perfect like a Corvette in my mind.
Yeah.
But if I drew one, it would be just the worst.
Yeah.
Kindergarten drawing you ever seen. That was the equivalent of me trying to sing the draft song. I know what it sounds like in my head. All right. Well, to no one's surprise, Fernando Mendoza went number 1 overall to the Raiders, who also have Kink Cousins. I actually like Mendoza a lot. He has what I really like in a quarterback, and that's swagger, moxie. He's a gamer. He's going to put it all on the line. He doesn't let things get to him. And he plays for his team. He plays his heart out. So those are things that I really like about him. He just kind of came on the scene this last season with Indiana. Of course, Indiana Indiana was kind of on the scene last season too, but they marched through, and I mean, they dominated all the way to the championship. Mendoza played great. And so, I as far as his NFL prospects, I don't think he's the best NFL number 1 overall quarterback we've had recently. He's definitely not like a generational talent, but I think he's as good as what Stroud or Bryce Young and some of I think he's better than those guys personally.
Some of these ladies,
I think he
picks.
And so, for the Raiders' sake, I hope he is good. And the good news is with them going out and getting Kink Cousins, he's not going to have to step right into starting. I wouldn't guess.
Yeah,
I would say he's probably going to play 8, 9, maybe 10 games this season, unless the Raiders start great and they're winning. As long as they're winning, Kink will stay at the helm. But as soon as the wheels start coming off, I think that's when Fernando will get in the game. But I don't know. What do you think about it? I mean, obviously, I don't think it was any surprise to you either.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a shocker. It's a good fit. I think, this is a team that's rebuilding anyways. And like you said, it'd be nice to see him actually sit behind Kink a little bit and develop. They didn't let
the old school.
They didn't let Penix do that at all. It's like they didn't even want to use Kink at all. But and plus, I think Kink's practically there for free anyways. So I mean,
well, no, he signed a contract with the Raiders.
But I thought it's like heavy paid by the Falcons still. Like most of his money's still coming from the Falcons, right? It's not.
I'm not sure how that, because he's got a new contract with the Raiders. So I don't know how that all
I was thinking because I know there was a lot of money still.
Yeah,
owed.
there's still dead cap at the Falcons,
and I thought it kind of rolled into this with however that transpired.
Regardless,
he was released, but
King Cousins' agent is the Michael Jordan of agents.
Oh, that
we know
dude is stacking stacks.
Yeah, but he got a 3-year deal, which I think, or a 4-year deal actually. I think 2 years are voided, and maybe 3 could be voided.
Yeah,
I think it's essentially a 1-year deal. But if for some reason, like I said, it's one of those deals that if Kink goes out there and somehow takes the Raiders to the playoffs, he may start next year again. They may say, "Hey, we were close last year. You almost got us there." That's less than a 1% chance of that happening. But I think that's why Cousins does that deal. He's like, I know this is a 1-year deal potentially, but on the off chance I ball out, I could potentially make 2 years off of this deal and get paid.
Yeah.
So either way, I like Mendoza there. I don't think anybody was surprised when he went, so we'll move on from him. The next, and we're going to just really focus on the offensive players. I mean, David Bailey is a great edge rusher out of Texas Tech. He went to the Jets. We're not going to break him down. The next one was a surprise. I was hearing murmurs that Arizona was wanting to take Jeremiah Love. I didn't think they would do it. If I would have had to bet, I would have bet no.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that I called it, but we were watching the draft, and I'm like, I told Baker, I said, here's the first place that I've heard potentially for Jeremiah Love to go. And almost as those words left my mouth, they announced the pick of Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals, which I think is insanely stupid. I don't hate it necessarily for Jeremiah Love. I think the coaching there, the scheme he's going to be running under, the fact that he is a 3rd-round pick, he's going to get plenty of work.
3rd overall pick.
3rd overall pick.
First round pick,
Yeah. And I think that he's going to get plenty of work. I hate it for all the other backs that are on that roster that we were looking at.
Backs,
Algier, is somebody we were kind of putting some, especially in the best ball drafts. The best balls had Algier like as a top 15 running back, and so it definitely knocks him down a few pegs. I mean, I wasn't really expecting Connor to come back and do a ton.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. I mean, they reworked his contract to where it was next to nothing against him anyways. To stay there, I think, is what that was. And then, of course, Benson, all of us were drafting him last year.
Yeah, I went after him last year in a few dynasties thinking he was going to be the dude this season. And Algier kind of crushed that hopes and dreams for me. And then this just finished stomping that down the drain.
At least with Algier, we could have that 2-headed monster kind of thing potential, where
true that
they both have a little bit of fantasy viability. They're not like, RB1s, but we can get good flex play out of both of them instead of, some of these teams where you got one back and that's it, But now that's all gone. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they trade Algier or Benson, or something like that. Yeah. They're only paying, I think Algier's contract was a 2-year, $12.5 million.
Yeah, so it's like $6 million. And the crazy thing about Jeremiah Love is he is now the highest paid running back in the entire NFL. With over $50 million. He's got more guaranteed money than any running back's ever had. He has the highest contract that any running back's ever had just because he was a top 3 pick.
Yep.
Which is crazy. So that's another reason why I personally I'm not scared of Jeremiah Love being viable. He's still the 101 for me in dynasties.
He's definitely.
He's still somebody I think is going to get plenty of work, and I think he's very talented. And I actually think Arizona's O-line isn't terrible. They weren't the greatest O-line, but they still put up offensive numbers last season, specifically in the passing game, because they didn't have much of a running game because they didn't have much of running backs. But
everybody was dying there.
But I think Jeremiah Love goes to a much better situation than what Genty went to last year with the Raiders and their horrendous O-line. And so I think Jeremiah Love is going to be great. I just think it was a stupid ass pick for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Especially with all the holes they have.
Exactly. I mean, they went and got Carson Beck later, but I mean, they don't have a quarterback really. Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett, which Brissett's aging and Minshew's already dealt with injuries and stuff. in the last 2 years.
Yes.
So I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I mean they've got Brissett on the wall, but now they've created, because they came out and said Brissett's our guy. They've created a contract controversy because now Brissett wants a new contract. He's like, if you are using me as you're putting up pictures of me on billboards and you're using me to promote this team, then you need to pay me like a starter.
Exactly.
If you're going to come out and say I'm a starter, and so now the whole organization of Arizona, they have now taken, for me personally, the top rung as the stupidest organization in the NFL.
They're the new Jets, while the Jets are still the
new
Jets.
Browns.
Yeah, the new Browns. Yeah, that whole who, what, where, why, what. None of this makes any sense. It doesn't. Right. On paper, it doesn't even look good. You know, like so.
And word on the street is that there was someone in the building who was very enamored with Jeremiah Love, and they were going best player no matter what, and that's not what the coaching staff wanted. So that creates controversy as well. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, number 4, Carnell Tate. I did not have Carnell Tate as the number 1 receiver in this class. I have Tyson as the number 1 receiver in this class, Jordan Tyson. But it's not saying that I didn't think Carnell Tate wasn't good. I thought that Carnell was most likely the second, at least the second wide receiver in this class behind Tyson, and maybe even the third behind Mekhi Lemon, but either way, I don't think there's a giant,
disparity.
Disparity between him and Tyson in my estimation. My thing is that I don't know. I just don't see Tate as that true outside guy, I guess. And I don't know. It's just he wasn't even the best receiver on his team last year. Jeremiah Smith was, so I don't know. But he is an Ohio State receiver. That is wide receiver U now.
Yeah.
And so I do like the fact that the Titans went out and are getting weapons for Cam Ward.
Well, it's like they didn't get Jeremiah Love. They had to go with what they felt was next best option offensively, because that's the biggest holes they have.
Right.
So it's the right call. I mean, because with everybody aging out of that place, and all the rookies that came up last year weren't elite. They were just good enough because there was nobody else there.
Okay, I think I'm getting him confused with Mekhi Lemon or somebody else, because let me go look at no, that's not. Let me go look at Mekhi. I thought he was
there in the 20th pick.
Right there. I thought he was shorter. Yeah, so it's Mekhi. I think I'm getting him mixed with Mekhi. So let me go back and say that I still have Jordan Tyson number 1, but Carnell Tate is an outside guy. He's 6'2", 192 pounds, and he's got great speed down the field. He's got good separation, and by all accounts, he runs very good routes. So, it is what it is. I think they were looking for somebody. Who's the one for the Titans? We don't know.
Yeah. No,
there is no one. There's I Am Ander's more of a gadget guy. Ridley's dying,
older than
old
dirt.
Busted.
I mean, and then you got they went and got Wandell, but he's going to be a slot guy.
He's a slot,
short distance.
And I really like the fact that he went there. I think those two are going to be a very dynamic. Tate and Wandell can be a very dynamic duo.
Yeah. And then you got Shamir DK, which, Ayu Minor and DK are the two rookies that kind of you heard a lot about last year. But there was nothing else going on.
And they're very explosive. So, DK is a great kick returner. He's another guy that you give him the ball anywhere on the field, he can take it to the house.
He's a huge pickup if you get to play, kick return yardage and all that on top of it, because he has the touchdown upside on kick returns and all that stuff. And they play him out there on the offense. Yes. They have him out there in receiver, which it might go down some this year now with the addition of
with
Tate, but still he's a nice play. I like DK a lot this year.
Yes. So Carnell Tate to the Titans is great. I will say that now that he is with the Titans, and I still I don't know. I still like. I like that Saints offense a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and move down here to Jordan Tyson. He was the next wide receiver off the board at 8 to the Saints, 6'2", 203 pounds. I think that Tyson going to the Saints in that offense with, Shuck, that's great. That's money. But you got, what's his lips on the other side of the field?
Olave.
There it is.
Love that. I like this for Olave. I think he gets a little less murder balls thrown to him. Like he's going to be a little more open instead of having two defenders run him down on the sideline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this pulls that pressure away from, makes the defense more honest to where he won't get like catches the ball through the defender's hands and then freaking tackled off the side. You know what I mean?
Right.
This adds that extra for the team. And then they don't got anybody else. I mean, Bailey is, a shell. You don't see much of him. I just now realizing that they have Jalen Polk. Which
I did not. I think I saw that somewhere like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, not that it means a whole lot because he hasn't done anything, but we thought he might when he went to New England, and now he's with the Saints. So I mean, just food for thought. Another receiver that hadn't panned out the last couple of years, but may. He's only been in the league for 2 years, and some receivers just don't hit that sweet spot till year 3, 4, in that way. So
yeah, the thing about Tyson that Tate has the speed, but what Tyson has is I think he's a chain mover. He's a guy that's underneath. He's got that dog in him. He gets the ball, he's going to drop a shoulder. He's going to try to earn them extra yards.
Yeah.
He's less finesse and more aggressive. I just came up with that.
Nice.
No!
Sorry. Sorry. But yeah, Jordan Tyson to the Saints. I'm actually taking him over Tate just because I like that offense more in rookie drafts. But I mean, it's
I would too.
It's half a dozen, 1/6 the other. Really.
I think it would depend more on if you need production this year or if you need production in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's going to be your separation as to where you want to take.
Right.
One
I mean, Tyson does have the competition with Olave more so than Tate does with Ridley, I believe. But I also think that the volume that's going to come out of New Orleans in the pass game will compensate far more for that, as long as they both pan out. All right, and then we had some offensive tackle. The Cleveland went offensive tackle, which was great. That was a smart choice. They had 2 picks in the first round, and a lot of speculation was that they were going to go wide receiver at 9. I think if one of those receivers would have fallen to them, they probably would have taken them.
I feel like they should have went quarterback at 9. But, that's just me.
That's what they need is another quarterback. But they did the smart play. They went for a top offensive lineman to try to bolster that line. The Giants also went for an offensive lineman. There was speculation that had what's his lips fallen to 10, then Jeremiah Love, then they were going to take him, and we were all dreading that. All of us, Scatterboo guys.
Yeah, this actually helps Scatterboo. There's somebody that can give him a little more time to not have to use his own head to get through the line. So
yeah, he'll still do it though.
Oh no, 100%. He might run backwards just to hit the old lineman in the back with his head and then run forward.
Then the Cowboys went and took the top safety, Caleb Downs. I think that's a really smart pick for them. Caleb Downs is a fucking animal at safety. Caden Proctor, the offensive lineman, went to the Dolphins, which I thought they were go receiver. I was like, man, the Dolphins are definitely going to go receiver, and it's like, nope, we're going offensive tackle because
they got rid of all their receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what's his name's there, so that'll definitely benefit. So their number one's going to be.
We had the second big surprise in the draft after the Jeremiah Love pick at 3. We had the head scratcher of the draft, in my opinion, is Ty Simpson to the Rams. I think even McVay was confused as to why this pick happened. He does not. His body language says that this was not his decision, and he does not agree with it based off of what he was saying in press conferences and whatnot. But the Rams went and said, hey, we have last year's MVP at quarterback, so let's go get a quarterback.
Well, let's not just that. Let's trade up in order to grab this guy, and also let's grab a guy that isn't even projected to go off until late, or not late, but like early second round. This dude's projected to go at like 38, 40, somewhere in there, and they traded up to snatch him at 13 overall.
I will say a little bit in their defense of that is that there was very hard speculation that at 16 the Jets were going to take him.
Okay.
So if they were believing that,
yeah.
and this was their guy, if this was the GM's guy that he had to have, then I guess they felt like they had to get him at 13. They may have tried to make deals with Tampa or even the Ravens that were at 14 and 15 above the Jets at 16 to try to make sure they get ahead of them so that they can take Ty Simpson. I low key think Ty Simpson will be okay as a quarterback in the NFL. He doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't do anything particularly special. Like he's got a good arm. He's above average mobile, and so he can play and stuff like that. Yeah. It definitely, in my estimation, he was not a top 15 pick in the draft.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting though. I mean, maybe they see something we don't. I don't understand sometimes why these NFL teams do stuff like this when essentially they're drafting a quarterback this high that they're going to have to pay and hold
and your head coach is
out.
Pissed off about it. So now you've created that issue where Stafford is McVay's dude. Stafford got McVay his ring. They're bros. They're basically the same age.
Yeah, I was gonna say they went to school together.
Yeah. They're both from Georgia. They're both from Georgia. So they have all those ties to one another. And then you go and you rock the boat by bringing in Ty Simpson. There is some rumors, and I don't, I'm just throwing it out there what I hear, that the GM is good friends with Ty Simpson's dad or somebody close to Ty Simpson. And then they're saying it was a personal favor. And it's like, as a personal favor, you burn the 13th overall pick?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, that's an organization killer if it doesn't pan out. Like, if something comes good of this, everybody's going to be like, oh, they were geniuses. But you don't know.
You won't know.
At this.
It's reminiscent of Jordan Love being drafted when Rodgers was still playing.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of that as well. But they at least drafted Jordan Love at the end. They traded back into the first, but it was towards the end. It wasn't like they traded into the top 15.
Or when the Falcons went and traded up to get Penix while they just signed a contract for
they didn't trade up to get Penix, but they did. They took him at 8.
Right. That's right.
After stupid.
They just paid this huge contract to a quarterback that's essentially going to take over. Yeah. And now they went and got a rookie that they ended up putting in right after. It's confusing to me. Like I said, maybe they see something.
But at least Penix was projected in that draft to be a top 15 pick.
Up in that,
so it wasn't crazy that they took him at 8. It was crazy they took him because they already had a fucking
It was crazy that
they just paid $1 billion and $12.
They took him at 8. Right. And that's similar to this, too. Is like,
Ty Simpson was not projected. Now, it's like had Ty Simpson been projected to be a 10 to 15, pick, and then they took him, it would still be crazy, but it's like, well, at least they got the value right.
Or even top 20. If he was like top 20 and they grabbed him at 13, it wouldn't even be mad at it.
It's one of those. It's like you guys could have waited, and if the Jets took him, big whoop.
Yeah, grab Carson Beck.
Yeah, oh God, it's even worse.
It's so much worse. I wouldn't be able to watch any of the Rams games. Just knowing he's on the side.
The most punchable face that's ever lived is Carson Beck's face. His hands down the most punchable face that's ever been. But don't get me on tangent there. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out over the next couple seasons.
It makes him fantasy viable right now in the draft. If you
in Dynasty, you want to throw him on a taxi squad because he's eventually going to get a shot.
He's going to get more of a shot than some of these other guys that we draft, in the 3rd and 4th round that nobody's looking at, so you definitely want to.
He could get more of a shot than Carson Beck.
Yeah, he definitely could.
And so it's like, but it may not be till next year or even the year after.
Yeah.
But eventually they're going, unless he is just horrendous dog doo-doo in practice like Trey Lance was, and you just realize real fast we fucked up. But if he can play remotely at all because of his draft capital, at some point he's going to get a chance to start.
Field. Yeah, exactly.
And you have to take into account Stafford being old and having back issues. It could be, if Stafford goes down for 6 weeks and Ty Simpson comes in, he could take the reins then. It could be a Brady Bledsoe situation.
Well, he's 6'1", 211. Yeah, they're not going to move him anywhere. So he's going to be a quarterback.
They would. He's not going to. Yeah, you don't draft him at 13 to move him to a different position either.
I'm just saying, let's get some use out of this guy. Let's put him out at tight end.
Let's see. So the Ravens go guard. After that, the Buccaneers go with an edge rusher, and then to our surprise again, Kenyon Sadiq, the top tight end in this draft, an athletic freak.
Another trade up too, by the way, which is super weird to me. But
he's 6'3", 241 pounds. And his athleticism is off the charts. He didn't produce in college like you would want to, production. He didn't have a production profile like you would want out of the top tight end, but all his, like I said, his athletic measurables are crazy good.
Yeah,
and he has
99, but I think 1012 is what it should be.
The athleticism is rated here as 99. I think that's the highest rating they got. And I'm with you. They could have broke it for this.
Yeah, that dude he's a specimen.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw with Kyle Pitts when he came out, he was an athletic freak, and then it took for years. So we'll see. But with Mason Taylor being there, it was odd that we were kind of thinking that Mason Taylor was their tight end of the future, and that they would do something different. They're also in need of wide receiver here.
Yes,
and so we thought maybe they were trading up to get Mekhi Lemon.
That's what I was thinking. That was my thought process, which is why it was so weird to me. They were coming in to get, which I guess if they feel that this guy's going to be a good receiver and blocker, an all-around weapon, maybe they feel they're going to get more out of him. But
yeah, I mean, he's about an average blocker in college, but at least he's average. He's not who's the guy that can never get on the field but always catches good that plays for Cleveland, tight end.
Plays for Cleveland?
Not Cleveland. The Bengals.
Bengals. Yeah, it's Gesicki.
Yeah,
you said Cleveland threw me for a complete loop. I was like, wait,
you were
a second.
with me until I said Cleveland.
I knew exactly who you were talking about.
Hopefully he's not another Gesicki. You just cannot block. So it's like when he's on the field, it's a pass play.
It's going to be a pass play. Yeah.
So yeah, I like Sadiq overall. I don't hate the spot with Geno coming in for the Jets. Hopefully that offense, at least Geno knows to get the ball, try to get the ball to his playmakers. Whether he can do that or not, I don't know. But I hate that I keep every year like this is the year. I don't think the Jets are going to be good as a team. I want to say that up front. I do think their offense is going to run better, and I think that Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and maybe Sadiq could all be very viable in fantasy.
I think they got some definite fantasy viable pieces that will pay off better this year.
Yes.
Last year it was like Garrett Wilson wasn't absolute trash until he got injured. It wasn't terrible. It was good. But Justin Fields had 2 weeks where we're like, okay, maybe, and then the rest of the season was no.
Garbage can.
Tyrod Taylor looked just as bad. It was and that made me think that maybe it's just the Jets, because Tyrod's in the past he's been a viable fantasy option. It wasn't even really viable last year. So I don't. Hopefully, yes, there's a little more cohesiveness between the offense, and like you said, Geno, he'll throw, and that was my hope for Mason Taylor. Geno coming in, Geno's going to get it to the open guy.
And he'll throw to a tight end. So
he fed Brock Bowers 17, 20 touchdowns last year. So I mean, I'm game for that. Even with the injury, Brock Bowers was still getting touchdowns. So,
all right, at 17, the Lions went offensive tackle, and then Caleb Banks, the top defensive tackle in this draft, went off at 18 to the Vikings. And then my Panthers went offensive tackle, which was weird to me because we have two pretty good tackles. But, this by all accounts, this guy's pretty good. He's a little raw, the offensive tackle that went to the Panthers. But we're not breaking down offensive tackles.
Yeah.
So the next one off the board is Mekhi Lemon. Now, have you seen his press conferences?
I have not seen.
You haven't seen the thing where he does a little snake thing? Oh my God! So
I saw all the stuff before all his press conferences, I guess, because I saw all kinds of stuff about him. But
you should watch this weird thing he does. He got his head down. He does this thing where I don't know if he's trying to look intimidating or if he's trying to look scary or whatever. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he looks creepy and not in he looks creepy as in that guy needs to be in prison.
Yeah. This guy should be on antipsychotics.
Yes.
Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, something like that. Either way, 5'11", 192 pounds. He's a good receiver. He did run a ton of slot. He was primarily a slot receiver. Like I said, that's who I was getting Caleb, what's his face, mixed up with. But so that's the thing I have with Mekhi is I don't know how much he can play the outside. If he can play the outside, it's not really his game. He's been considered of the same mold as Amon-Ra St. Brown. And And so, you know, if Amon-Ra obviously does great for what he does, but he does play on the outside a good bit as well as playing the slot. So we'll see how that works out. I think Mekhi Lemon is very talented. And you know, while he's not necessarily down the field fast, he is exceptionally quick in space.
Yeah.
And can make people miss and things of that nature. So I don't know. And I also think this basically signals that deal that's been talked about with A.J. Brown going to the Raiders after the Patriots after June 1st is a done deal.
It's something, they had already solidified or had definitely in the works before this, because this was a trade-up pick too, which was interesting, you know, because I think would the Steelers have the next pick at 21?
Oh, yeah, this is the one where the Steelers were on the phone.
They called him ahead of time. It wasn't even time for their pick. Mm-hmm. And they called ahead of time, and supposedly, whether truth or not, but supposedly somebody from Dallas actually hit up the Eagles and said, hey, we got this pick right now. Are you interested in getting this now? Because you know the Steelers are going to draft this guy if you don't. And then Dallas traded back with the Eagles, so the Eagles could move up to grab him before the Steelers would. And he was on the phone with the Steelers.
But why would Dallas help a divisional opponent?
It's a Mike McCarthy thing. They're talking about all the people that have moved.
Oh yeah, McCarthy getting back.
The suspicion is between, you know, the people who are not with and who are with opposite teams, between the Eagles and, you know, Dallas and all stuff. There was just like a friendly banter thing kind of deal. Like, hey, check this out. We're on this pick, and you can have this opportunity to get him because we know you want a receiver. So the Eagles traded up with Dallas and then stole Mekhi Lemon from the Steelers, who had the 21st pick. They literally, or supposedly, according to the video I saw anyways, he was on the phone with the Steelers, and he's like, why are the Eagles calling in? He hung up on the Steelers
to talk to the
Eagles, and the Eagles are like, hey, we're drafting you right now, dude. And it was a whole situation.
Here's this clip.
Here's
this clip of him. Just watch it. You don't got to hear what he's saying. Just watch his body language while he's doing this press conference.
I feel like there was a receiver.
Wait for the snake. Do you see him do the snake?
Yeah, he keeps ducking his eyes down and pulling it. They're
saying that he was trying. So apparently, Amon-Ra did something similar.
I was saying,
and they're saying that he was trying to mimic that, but he was doing it and not like Amon-Ra. However, he did it. It didn't come off as creepy as hell. So I don't know.
I feel like I've seen something similar to that. I don't know what it was or where it was or who it was or whatever.
Yeah, in the same way that quarterback that was for Nebraska who tried to look like Pat Mahomes was like mimicking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
They were talking about how Mekhi Lemon was trying to mimic and copy Amon-Ra.
You gotta love your heroes though, man. But sometimes there's lines
you don't have to act just like them.
Exactly.
There's a line's got to get drawn somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from Lemon, 21. The Steelers, who couldn't get Mekhi Lemon, and there's some people think this was a panic pick.
Oh wait, they're
like, I
tell you, the crowd,
that offensive tackle,
the crowd 100% thought it was a panic pick because they were not happy with when it came out because they were in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and when this came out, it was like
not the splash they wanted.
There was a hush upon everybody. Oh, it was hilarious. It definitely was.
All right, and then the Chargers go edge rusher after that. The Cowboys go defense again with an edge rusher as well. And then Casey Concepcion, who I really, really like as a receiver in this draft. I think he runs very good routes. 5'11", 196. He goes to the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, I thought it was very smart that they went offensive tackle, and then with their second pick, they got a wide receiver. And I think that he is a very polished receiver. He's more polished than people think he is. And in a little bit of tape that I've seen and whatnot, I think he's very, I think he already looks like a pro to me, if that makes sense.
NFL ready.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I got you.
And so, I like this dude a lot. I hate that he goes to Cleveland. because I don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
Right now, Watson's winning the quarterback race last I heard. So
I don't know if he's winning the quarterback race. I think he's winning who they write the highest check to base. They owe the most money to.
At this moment.
Yeah. And so, but either way,
you don't.
Hopefully they'll get the ball to him. You know, he's going to be playing across from Judy. And Judy's showing that he can't be the dude there.
And Isaiah Bond, I think, showed a little bit of promise last year. And that's the rookie they got last year, right? Yeah. Bond, I mean, a little bit. You know, they're losing Njoku, but, you know, they got Harold Fanning, you know, last year. So that's another target that, you know, they get to work with and all that stuff. So this could be really interesting. I like him a lot. I hate it. Like you said, I hate he went to the Browns. It kind of hurt him to me in the fantasy draft world, you know, where he would end because there was so many other better options.
Absolutely. I mean, Pittsburgh should have taken him when they scrambled.
That would have definitely, helped out a lot.
But he's another one of those. He doesn't have crazy down the field speed, but he's, again, very quick in space, which helps him get separation.
And a target monster.
Yes.
In a PPR aspect, I mean, sometimes the slot guys are the guys you want, because they're going to get 8-10 targets a game. Yeah. Where these down the field guys are going to get 4 or 5, you know. So, they might get more touchdowns, but the points can equal out, if that makes sense.
Right. So. All right. After that, at 25, the Bears went safety. The Texans went guard, and then which they need to, you know, fix their O-line. So that was a good move on their part. Quarterback, the corner went. I think was this the first corner off the board in this draft? I don't know why it matters while I'm scrolling up to double check, but I think the first corner went off to Miami. Because the first I'm sorry. The first corner went. That's right. Went off to Kansas City. Yeah, that's right. Because there was people were wondering if they were going to go wide receiver at Kansas City. So anyway, so this will be the second corner off the board.
Second corner.
Anyway, to the Dolphins, and then another offensive tackle goes to the Patriots, and then a defensive tackle to Kansas City, and then Omar Cooper Jr., the wide receiver out of Indiana who played with Fernando Mendoza. He is 6 foot, 199 pounds. And, you know, this is like the last first round receiver in our draft. I mean, he's the last first round receiver in the regular the NFL draft, but it's also in dynasty drafts.
He's like the last first round pick in dynasty
draft.
Right.
That's what I meant. Last first round.
So if you have a 14-man league, you're drafting third round picks by then.
Yes. But you know, I like Cooper. I like what he did with Indiana. And he's not a lot of those players in Indiana. They kind of took the personality of their coach, where they didn't take no shit. It was a workman type thing. We're going to come in here. We're going to beat your ass. We're going to do it handedly, and we're going to do it through physicality. And then we're going to leave, and we're going to leave you laying on the field bloodied. And that's kind of the same way he plays his game. He plays very tough. He's very rugged. And I like the way he does that. I'm all about those players. I worry about those players in the NFL because you can't bully people with your physicality as easily in the NFL as you can in college.
Especially not at 199 pounds when some of these guys are way bigger.
Yeah. But you know, I like Cooper. The landing spot. I don't think he's got a lot of competition for that number 2 receiver. You know, you had with a Smith, Aeneas, A. Smith. I don't know. He was Adnai. There it is. Adnai Mitchell. No, Adnai Mitchell's there. Yeah, there it is. But there's also a Smith.
I was trying to think of the Smith. But
there is a Smith.
It wasn't an A. Smith though.
It is. It's 100% A. Smith.
I know it's Adonai Mitchell. That's the guy they picked up in the trade from the Colts mid-season last season.
They had the Smith guy they had before then.
So that would have been the rookie then.
Yeah, Adonai Mitchell, Arian Smith. There it is.
Oh, so he's the rookie from last year, I think.
Yes.
I didn't know nothing really much about him. He didn't do anything last year, I don't think so.
No.
But they did acquire another.
Yeah. And Adonai Mitchell is the one I was thinking of when I said Arian Smith, because Adonai Mitchell is the one that they were projecting to hopefully be their number 2 receiver across from Garrett Wilson, and he did not pan out or has not panned out as of yet.
He flashed one game, and then outside of that, we saw what we saw with him with the Colts, and he's not a very good receiver. So
yeah. But we'll see. Cooper's got an opportunity to go in there and show what he can do. And he brings, like I said, he brings that attitude, that as they say, he's got that dog in him, and he brings that attitude to the field. So that's something that, can help out too in winning over coaches and showing when you're fighting for those extra yards and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess Garrett Wilson and then Sadiq would be the only two people that he would be maybe potentially fighting
for
if he comes in for two. Yeah. So he's definitely somebody to look at. Yeah.
Oh, they're probably going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. A lot of teams are running that too. So Mason Taylor will be out there as well. But I think he has a chance to at least be the number 2 or number 3 target getter. But whether depending on how him and Sadiq pan out.
It's crazy. Jelani Woods is there too. Remember all the hype with him 3 years ago when he was drafted?
Yeah.
To the Colts, he was going to be the next big.
In this draft, he'd have been a top 5 pick. All right. At 31, the Texans with another first round pick, they took an edge rusher. And then at 32, this one was what a lot of people thought was going to happen, and we were right. Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame, he was the backup to Love. He's 5'10", 203 pounds. Obviously, when you're playing behind Jeremiah Love, it's hard to get on the field.
Yeah. So don't really truly know, but yeah.
His production profile is extremely lacking. He's one of, I think, the only running back with no, there was 2. Him and oh my God. I should write this stuff down. There's only 2 running backs that have been drafted with less than 800 yards rushing in their last year in college in the first round. And it's him and some other dude.
Makes sense.
Who's been drafted recently. And the other dude actually turned out pretty good. I'm not even going to try to remember right now because I don't even know what the research. I guess I could research that. But either way, he's one of 2 with his production profile to be drafted as high as he did. And so we'll see how that pans out. I don't know. He's a size speed freak. He went and put up a nice 40 in the I want to say he's like 4.33 or something. So it's just one of those where he's got the athleticism, the things that you look for. You just don't know about his pass catching, and all those things. So I don't know. I haven't watched a ton of film on him because there wasn't a ton to watch.
It's a pretty decent landing spot though.
It's a great landing spot.
Think about it. I mean, with Charbonnet coming back off the ACL, I mean, last I saw, it could have changed. They don't know that he's going to be ready for training camp coming off the ACL. So, I mean, this guy could be the guy, with them in the beginning of the season. So, it's kind of a tough to really judge. I like where he's at. He's definitely going to get utilized. I'll put it that way. So, he's definitely somebody to look at in your fantasy rookie drafts and everything.
No, that's not right because it wasn't him.
Who's that?
I was trying to figure out the other running back, but either it's not telling me the right thing or I didn't listen to the right thing when I heard it on the radio. So, because it was saying CEH, but I would have remembered if it was CEH. I'd have been like, it was CEH, and that sucks. But CEH had just under 1,000. He had over 800 yards. So,
gotcha.
Anyway, I don't know. Like you said, I do like the landing spot because we know that they're not afraid to use 2 backs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
there's a good chance that they might only have to use 1 back. I mean, if Charbonnet doesn't come back from this ACL quickly enough, then there's a chance this guy gets a bulk of the carries anyway. So and he's a first round pick, so they're going to utilize him. This is the same spot that the Jacksonville drafted Travis Etienne. So I mean, this is he ran a
4.49. So apparently I was wrong on the size speed thing too. I don't know. There is a running back that I'm thinking of, but I don't know. This running back class is garbage can.
This is the best you're gonna get if you don't have the 101. So if you're drafting in your rookie draft right now and you need a running back prospect for this year, you need to grab this guy. But it's only gonna happen in the top like 5 or 6 picks. So
yep. Then we're going to go to the second round, and the first pick in the second round is a player that we were all waiting to come off the board We all knew exactly who it was.
Oh yeah, he was like, I had him going 3rd overall. I mean, it's crazy.
Dejan Stribling. Yes. I had never heard of this guy when he got drafted. Do not, he was way down the prospect list. He was far beyond what I was ever researching. And then the 49ers took him at the 201. So, more power to him. His draft capital makes him relevant, if nothing else. And if you're in sleeper, you're going to have to type him in to find him.
Yep.
Because his ADP is not going to show him at the top of draft boards.
Nope.
And so, he's, I guess he's fast.
He ran a 4.36.
Yeah, he's super fast. He's 6'2", 207 pounds, so he is a size speed freak. And he can definitely beat coverage. So,
and you really think about it, Jawan Jennings he's still free agent. They haven't signed him back.
Yeah,
yet.
Jawan Jennings was like visiting other teams and shit.
Mike Evans is there. Ricky Pearsall hasn't done a lot of what we want to see. And Ayuk,
he took a bullet though.
Ayuk fled the country. So
fucking Ayuk, dude. Most toxic fucking relationship is Brandon Ayuk.
So what are we really looking at? We're looking at a beat down Kittle. Yes. He's coming back off injury. And
we don't know when Kittle's coming back because he's
exactly.
By all accounts, he's not going to. It's at least 4 to 6 weeks. He's going to miss of the season. So this guy could easily be what's it called when you don't see it coming and all of a sudden he's a dart throw.
Dart throw, yeah.
A dark horse.
Dark horse, that's it.
All right.
This can be a dark horse in your rookie draft.
Yeah.
If you can grab him in the late second, early third, and you know something about him, he could be worth the first round pick.
You were in a rookie draft where you were in the 3rd round, and I was like, go check this guy. You were like at the 309, and you couldn't find him. He went 308.
Yeah, he went 308.
I was like,
so this is, and like I said, there's
he's
not
going
a
to
lot
start
of
climbing. He's definitely going to, as the rookie drafts proceed, his ADP is going to start climbing. So right now is the time to get him for pennies.
Yes, before you got to spend quarters and nickels and dimes and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I don't know how much farther we're going to go. We'll go until we run out of people we've heard of. After that, Arizona took a guard.
All right. That's it. I don't know anybody else.
There's a couple more to talk about.
I'm just kidding.
Buffalo, I still got to find the size speed freak running back that I was confusing Jadarian Price with. So we got to at least get to there.
It's probably the guy that the Tennessee Titans took. I think he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
If I remember, I might be mixing up with some.
Texans went with defensive tackle at the 36-37. Colton Hood, the corner out of Tennessee, went to the Giants. A safety to the Raiders, and then Denzel Boston. He is the son of former NFL player Daryl Boston, he was a good receiver. He wasn't, he was never like a superstar, but Daryl Boston was a big dude who played very physical, and was a decent receiver for much of his career.
That's what Browns needs, is another receiver.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier, how they don't have a quarterback.
Yes, so they go get another receiver. The Browns do. He is 6'3", 212 pounds. So he's like his daddy. He's a big one.
He's a big dude.
His ball skills, if you're going to be Daryl Boston's son, you better be able to go after 50-50 balls. And that's really his thing. He is a very good fighting for the ball, going after it, and, boxing out in the end zone. He could just become like a end zone guy that they're looking for down there. The problem is what quarterback's going to overthrow him 3 times before they kick a field goal. So,
you think they're going to get a field goal range?
Yeah, but he could be a stick mover, first down mover, red zone value type guy. Again, he's somebody I look for he's second round rookie draft. But when you're getting to Denzel Boston, you're getting to the end of the line of players that you actually want to draft on your team. So after that, at 8 or at 40, the Kansas City went edge rusher, Bengals go edge, Saints go defensive tackle, linebacker to the Dolphins, edge to the Lions, edge to whatever. I'm just going to scroll. All right, Jeremy Bernard. I don't care what it's pronounced as. It's spelled Jeremy. Or Gurmy. Sorry. Germie. It's Gurmy Bernard, wide receiver out of Alabama, 6'1", 206 pounds. I don't know a ton about him. I watched a little bit of film. He is a field stretcher. He is fast. But I just didn't think it's like when I saw that he was 6'1", I was like, I thought this dude was like 5'10" at best.
Yeah.
He just did not play to his size, in my opinion. But he he's capable of running all the routes. He can play out of the slot and things of that nature. I just didn't see, for me, I didn't see anything that was special.
Yeah.
I just saw everything and was like, this dude can play.
The good news is there's not really a lot of competition there for him at the Steelers. They needed a receiver.
Well, there's Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf.
But Pittman's going to play the slot and DK's going to run the side. So, I mean, at least he's got an opportunity to be outside a little bit.
Well, I think they'll probably put him in the slot because Pittman's an outside receiver. He's always been an outside. Josh Downs played the slot. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I feel like I don't remember Pittman being the downfield guy for that.
He wasn't the downfield guy. He was just an outside guy. He's a possession guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess Pierce was the one that was always the downfield guy, and then I get it all mixed up a little bit sometimes.
It's hard. Well, Downs, what's funny is like now the way they run these offenses, it's like they'll start on the outside, but then they'll motion a guy and they'll motion a guy outside the guy that's outside, and now the outside guy becomes the slot guy. So it's like we all
might be where I'm mixing things up.
And so when you look at these stats and you say, well, this dude ran such and such routes out of the slot. Well, or he ran such and such routes starting on the outside. Well, they based it all off of where they started the formation, not where it was when the ball snapped.
Exactly.
So, it's just it's kind of whatever.
It felt like in my head, I just always seen him playing these slot short fieldage, like out and turn. But that wasn't where. That's just the routes that he ran. That wasn't where he lined up. He was definitely lining up on the outside. Pittman was. He was like you said, he's not the guy that's going to try to, he's not a man beater. He's not trying to get down the field. But yeah, Gurmey's is somebody that, I mean, again, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel now. You're like, man, this third round's going to suck because now we're getting towards the mid of the second or towards the end. And this is where you're drafting this guy. So, we scroll on down. The second tight end off the board went to the Eagles. I actually like this pick. Eli Stowers, however you pronounce it. There are some who think he might end up being a better overall tight end in this league than Sadiq. I'm not necessarily one of those. I think Sadiq is just, if he's used properly, he's going to be very dominant. Problem is that Stowers went to the Eagles, which is a very well-run organization, and Sadiq went to the Jets, is not a very well-run. So it could just be that he ends up being a better tight end because of his opportunity and things of that nature. And the way it all works out. Plus, he was replacing freaking Dallas Goedert. I mean, eventually, as long as it all works out. Goedert's 32 now, and which is like 75 in
tight end years,
NFL years. So this is a good play. This is a good pick, I think, for upcoming years. If you're drafting, I would grab him anywhere that I could.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
He's going to be a good fit. I think he fits their offense. He fits that whole. The way they utilize the tight end. Yeah,
so, I would drive. I wouldn't be scared to grab him in the first round of rookie picks over some of these other wide receivers, just because of his opportunity and the need of the position.
Especially if you're in a tight end premium of any sort. Yeah. Like if you got a 1 point tight end premium, or half.
So right around where Cooper or Price are going off the board, that's about where I'm looking at Stowers as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's he used to play quarterback. They converted him to tight end, that happens a lot with these guys. He's definitely a move tight end. He's I don't think I gave his size. He's 6'3", 239. So he's not your typical blocking guy. He's a move. He's going to play a lot of the slot, maybe even outside when he's more of that receiver guy. But in two tight end sets, especially with you got A.J. Brown going to the Patriots, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I had to hit the button after we said. Anyway.
Definitely.
There's going to be targets that are going to be opening up, and we think they're going to go to Mekhi Lemon, which I'm sure they will. Obviously, the Slim Reaper is still there, Devonta Smith, but I think Stowers, even with Goddard still there, and of course Goddard gets hurt like every 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he misses 4 games. He comes back, he plays a half, gets you your fantasy points, and then he gets hurt again.
Yeah, it'll get you 2 weeks fantasy points in 11 minutes of one game. And then you won't see him for 3 games. He'll have 4 catches for 3 touchdowns and 75 yards.
Yes,
in 1 quarter of a game, and then you won't see him for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I think Stowers is going to get plenty of opportunity this season. He could make an impact as well. All right. After that, there's a lot of tight ends that go here that we're not going to talk about because they're mainly blockers. So we're going to skip over those guys.
This is the tight end round. It's like tight end.
Yeah.
And then the next round.
Yeah. So we're going to peak at the third.
I was laughing
because I think this is where Carson Beck went to.
Yep.
The Cardinals. I'm not a Carson Beck guy. He's prototypical. He's 6'4", 233. Dude has all the physical tools to play quarterback. He has a face that needs to be punched and a mental aspect of a douchebag.
Yeah,
based off of what I've seen.
It could be very, very ugly, or it might work out a little bit. I don't see it being a big jump ahead or anything.
Let's see. I'm looking for Antonio Williams was an interesting pick. Going off the board, he out of Clemson to Washington. He's somebody you're going to want to keep your eye on. We're not going to dig too deep, but just because of Washington's need for receiving for receivers, and Antonio Williams is somebody who could possibly make an impact there, and he's somebody you're going to want to be targeting in your dynasty drafts. Let's see, scrolling down, Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. I don't know a ton about Malachi. I know that he's 6'4", 218 pounds, which is giant for a receiver. He's got a big wingspan, but his hand size seems a little small. He does. He's got them Kenny Pickett hands.
Not quite that small, but a little bit small. But yeah, it says. I mean,
yeah, he's a big dude, and he's with the Giants. So we'll see how that pans out. They again, aside from Neighbors, I don't really think there's a ton going on for receiver there after they got rid of Wandell. So
once Wandell was gone,
so Malachi is somebody that you could throw a dart at too, just because of the opportunity there and him being such a big dude. Caleb Douglas going to another receiver to the Dolphins. I like Caleb, a decent bit out of Texas Tech. It's just, he's 6'3", 206 pounds. He's another tall receiver, but he's a little bit faster than Malachi Fields, and with that size, and he has bigger hands, so he's got 10-inch hands. His hands are way bigger.
Hey, but Darnell Mooney's on the Giants now. Better watch out.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh man,
I got to start looking at rosters. Some of these lesser known signings I have not caught up on.
It's crazy. And who's still there? Darius Slayton.
Yeah,
the Slayer Slayton. He's still there.
Drew Aller out of Penn State went to the Steelers. I don't really see Drew doing much in the NFL. Zachariah Branch out of Georgia. He went to the Falcons. There is a couple more receivers I want to talk. I'm just going to skip to the ones I want to talk about. Chris Bell. Here's one I want to talk about. Chris Bell going to
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Chris Bell, by all accounts, was looking at being one of the top receivers, and then he tore his ACL, and that really has hurt his draft capital, obviously. And he's not going to be able to start the season. So he's already behind the 8 ball in both regards, falling to the third round and then not being able to start the season. But if he gets an opportunity based off of what he did before he tore his ACL, this dude could make some noise. He's somebody you want to keep your eye on in these drafts. You hopefully can get him late.
Especially when these are people you got to look at when you got taxi squads you can set and forget.
Yes.
You get 2 or 3 years to kind of let these guys, make an impression before you have to really put them in your lineup.
Yes.
They had 2 guys down. That's the most talked about draft pick right now.
2 guys down.
Yep, Jennings Dunker. That's the guy right there. Everybody.
Jennings. Oh my God! This dude looks like he pulled up in a Trans Am,
100%.
crushed in a sleeveless shirt, crushed a Budweiser on his forehead, and then walked in and played football.
That was a
banquet beer. That's definitely a banquet beer.
100%, man.
If you haven't seen Jennings, first of all, his name's Jennings Dunker.
Oh no, I'm telling you, it's
just a top tier name.
It's gold,
an absolute
man.
top tier game. 6'5", 319-pound guard out of Iowa, plays for the Steelers. And the thing is, he's out of Iowa, but he looks like he should be out of Alabama. I mean, this dude's got a mullet, a beautiful mullet.
It's a beautiful red mullet.
Yes.
He's on I'm in more comedy podcasts than I am in football podcasts. And he's in every comedy podcast I'm going part of now.
Yes.
It's insane how lovable this guy is too. He's so great. His attitude's amazing.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen any interviews. I've just seen pictures. It's like this dude, he looks like I'm telling you, he drives a Monte Carlo.
There's rumors that Gardner Minshew might be his dad. It's that beautiful. It's that beautiful. It really is. It's hilarious.
I don't know. I guess all the running backs went in the 4th round. Let's see.
Which is where a lot of your running backs go between 3 and 5. So
yeah. So let's look and see here.
Broncos running back.
Yeah. Jonah Coleman. And look, here's somebody you definitely need to keep on your radar, just because J.K. Dobbins, another one he's going to get hurt this season. Is inevitable.
100%. That's the only bet I'll ever put with Vegas is that Dobbins is hurt by week 12. Minimal.
And then RJ Harvey, word on the street is that he's lost favor with the coaching staff, and they, basically this guy's just going to end up being freaking Giovanni Bernard or something.
And I'll say this too, from what I saw of RJ Harvey, like on field action and everything, is he was good. He was great in the pass game. He did good on blocks and getting out and getting open. But as far as like a running back, I didn't see that. He didn't have the dog in him. He didn't look like an amazing running back. But if he's like the third down back, he ends up being what you said, Giovanni Bernard, or freaking who's the guy that with the mustache he was also another Bengal, and then
that's Giovanni Bernard.
No, the one that's like literally this. The one I don't like.
The McKissick?
No,
McKinnon?
No. I'll find him. But yeah, that kind of back, where he eventually just fades out. And
but Jonah Coleman's a leader. That's just his personality. He has great vision. Based off what I've seen, he's not super fast, but he is a solid running back, and he could, because of his leadership and his coachability and all those things. And I'm not saying RJ Harvey didn't possess those things. I'm just saying that I think Jonah Coleman is a better runner of the ball, and he's, he could come in and he could really wow the coaching staff, and they go, this is the dude that we want to be playing backup to J.K. Dobbins, which means this is a guy who's going to get, 8 to 10 starts this season.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Moving on down the line, Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. He went to the Jets.
Samaje Perine.
Oh, there it is.
He's that's who I was
he had more than a mustache.
And the beard.
He had an amazing beard.
He had a beard for 1 year, then he cut it off and only had the mustache.
That's true.
And the mustache is what stuck with me.
Yeah. Because his beard was legendary.
It was definitely legendary.
But Cade Klubnik out of Clemson, I mean, I don't really think he's going to make it as an NFL quarterback, but he's going to the Jets. So
with a name like Klubnik, he'll at least start one game. At least one. And it'll probably be a great game.
Elijah Surratt, another Indiana receiver, he went to the Ravens. So he's probably going to die on a depth chart
you
there.
Probably won't see him.
Another running back you want to keep an eye on, not for any reasons that he's going to take Genty's job, but he could get some use if they run a committee, and then obviously he could end up being the handcuff to Genty. That's Mike Washington Jr., who went to the Raiders, 6'1", 223 pounds. And he's the size speed freak I was trying to think of. I'm pretty sure, look up his 40, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 4.31 or 4.32. But at 223 pounds, 6'1", 223 pounds, running that fast, you better get out of the way. but his athleticism is off the charts. So his production out of college was not great, but he really lit it up at the combine. And so,
4.33.
Yeah. So he's going to be playing behind Genty again. But if he wins that backup role, he could be very viable in fantasy just as a handcuff, and then as somebody who,
the competition,
depending on how they run a committee or whatever.
I mean, I think so. Chris Collier, he's got to beat him out, which
I've never even heard of Chris Collier.
I think I can beat him out. And then Dylan Laub, which I think I could beat Dylan Laub too. I've seen him play.
We don't even know how to say his name because I thought his name was Lauby.
Either way, and he's 5'9", 204. He's a tiny guy. So I think he's got a good shot at being that number 2, being the guy behind him. So.
Well, I think that's the receiver. I found him, so that's what I was looking for mainly. Found the running back. I got confused with a guy that went in the first round who was taken in the 4th. That's what you get on Just an Average Fantasy Football Podcast. All right, listen, I'll be blatantly honest with you. We research the best we can, but we also work full-time jobs, and then again, our lives have been very hectic with family emergencies on my side of the family, and then Baker with running a whole ass business and taking care of some stuff personally with his family and things of that nature. So
the only other person I want to bring up, and it's just because I'm a Bills fan.
Oh, that's true.
And it's Skylar Bell.
First of all, we're not going to dive too deep into it, but he don't look like a Skylar, bro.
He does not look like a Skylar.
I'm just saying, he had to get roasted when he went to school in the Bronx.
Well, the biggest knock on him is he's old. He'll be 24 before the season starts.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's an old guy.
Yeah, so he's already going to be tenured when he starts.
Yeah, he's already working on his retirement.
I didn't know that they named Skylers. I feel like a Skylar is a younger name. Skylar is weird on so many occasions.
Exactly. It's
crazy they were calling a 24-year-old guy old, but in NFL standards, he's like 36 and he's got a mortgage and 2 divorces.
That's exactly what's going on right now. 6 kids, 3 of which he doesn't know who the mom is. Weirdly enough, I don't know how that works, but. But he did run a 4.40, and his last year he had 144 targets with 101 catches, 1,278 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so.
He was another one of those where he was a late bloomer in college. He didn't really do a whole lot early on, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Well, he was a late bloomer in regular life. He's past college at 24. He's
true.
So, but he's an older dude. But I mean,
he comes into the NFL this year older than DJ Moore.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, all these receivers that don't peak until their 4th year, he's on his 4th year now.
I'm pretty sure DJ Moore was drafted at 15. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Exactly. He just like was it Jason Dominguez for the Yankees? They brought in at 16 years old and all that mess. That's baseball. But
yeah, what are we talking? I've never.
Jason Dominguez.
Never
that
heard
dude
of him.
was like 16. Put him out of the park like every throw. But either way, every pitch.
Oh,
but either way, this guy's he's older, but he was drafted in the 4th round, so there's not a lot there. You probably can find him in the 3rd and 4th of your rookie draft and all. But I've grabbed him everywhere, so trust me, my money is where my mouth is. I will ruin all my this draft class is so random anyway.
This is the worst draft class I've ever been.
So you want to try to get what you can, and we all know that the Bills are steady looking for somebody to throw the ball to.
I'm in what round did he get drafted?
He was drafted in the 4th.
He was drafted. Did I skip over him?
I guess it said he was drafted in the 4th.
What pick in the 4th? Because I was trying to find
the Bills pick.
I'm gonna punch you in the face. I don't see any Bills pick in the 4th round.
Let's see. He said, or this says, he was drafted 125 overall.
Oh yeah, that's there he is. I did skip over him 14 times.
Yeah.
So he's 5'11", 192 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got a decent production. I mean, decent athleticism, but he is older. That was his biggest knock.
He has 10-inch hands, so that's good.
Hey,
he doesn't have the Burger King hands.
That's true.
And hey, again, it's one of those what they call ambiguous situations where you don't know. You know, DJ Moore's coming in; he's going to be the dude. But, you know, there's no other outside guy because you got Shakir, who's mainly a slot receiver. So who's going to run that other outside? You know, and so there's room for somebody to step up because,
you know, especially in this offense. I mean, this is we every year we're like, oh, this guy's going to do something. We all fucked up and drafted Josh Palmer last year because they went out and fucking, you know, said,
was
hey,
last year was Josh Palmer.
That's when they signed him. Was
last year or the year before?
Wow. Last year. So it's like we're all like, okay, well maybe, you know, and then
maybe,
and that didn't work out at all. So, but you want to, and I think it's less. It's less to take.
What I did, sorry.
It's a less risk to take a rookie in your rookie draft you can put on taxi squad for no reason than it is to draft a veteran who came from another team and been signed to it on a maybe.
Just keep in mind, not everybody has taxi squads. For those of you who don't know,
that's
taxi squads are a place where you can stow away rookies. Some require. Like my leagues, generally, you can only keep them on the taxi squad for 3 years, but you can only put them on the taxi squad if they're a rookie.
Yep.
If you yank them off, you can't put them back on. I play in leagues where it's interchangeable up until the 3-year mark. And
some only let you have them on there for 2 years. I mean, I'm in a couple that are like, you got to get these guys off here. But I still had Yoshivas in one of my leagues, and he's going into his 4th year this year. So,
holy shit.
Or 5th year this year, I think. I don't know what one of those really late years. He was still in my
I forgot Yoshivas existed.
Yeah. So did everyone else who had him in fantasy. So, but I did draft him and put him on taxi squad just in case, and it just didn't work out. I couldn't remember which games I needed to put him in for. There was only 2. In his 4-year career, there was only 2 games I needed to play him for. But
well, there it is. There's the just average draft breakdown of our prospects and some less than average advice. But we did have some. I felt like we had some above average advice. Yeah. So when they balance out, they become average.
That's all we're about.
Yeah,
just averaging out to average.
If anything we say or do helps you get to that average place in your leagues, that means we did our job. Because as Matt Baker knows, when you finish average,
you don't finish last.
That's exactly right.
If you finish last,
you don't finish average.
You weren't listening to this podcast.
Exactly. Y'all be good out there. Hopefully we can be back out here Tuesday, get Bus in here, and we'll talk about, I don't know, we'll figure something out by then. We're going to start trying to do some rebuilding tips, but I don't want to fly by the seat of the pants on that. I want to actually put some effort. Not that we fly by the seat of our pants on everything else, but I don't want to give people advice on how to do a rebuild until we've sat down and we've put it all together in a concise manner.
I don't even have seats in my pants.
That's true. I see you walk out of here all the time.
Just saying.
But other than that, y'all be good out there, and we'll talk to you on the flip side.
Later.
Holla.